What's up, guys? Joe here from Subtle Art Soap. Hope you're all doing well. Well, the Tour de France is coming to an end, sadly. It was a lot of fun to watch. Um, Watching Mark Cavendish break the record for the most stage wins was probably the coolest thing. That record is going to stand for a very long time. So to be able to see that was just awesome. Thought he was going to do it last year, but he had an unfortunate crash last year, which took him out of the tour. But he decided to come out of retirement, come back, and go for it. And he got one, and he broke the record. So that's awesome. Unfortunately, my guy Jonas Vingegaard sits in second place right now. He's 5 minutes and 14 seconds behind Tadej Pogacar, with an individual time trial tomorrow as the final stage. That's a huge amount of time to make up. Unlikely that he's going to do it, but for a guy it was questionable whether or not he was actually going to be in the tour. He had a really bad crash right before the tour in another race. He was in the hospital for a while, serious injuries, but these guys have the best doctors, the best trainers, and they're unbelievably conditioned athletes. So he was able to make it into the tour and rode strong. Had a stage win, hung in there with Tade, but Tade he just had it this year. He was strong in the mountains. I'm assuming he's going to be very strong in the time trial as well. So that's a bummer, but he'll be back next year, and I'm sure Jonas will be ready to go, and hopefully he can get the win next year. So for the soap, Tour de Citron. Wanted to get one more video in using this soap before the tour was over. So we're going to shave with that today. We do have the matching splash Tour de Citron. The brush, you guys have seen me use this several times, aka Brushworks Shimmer Yellow. The razor we're going to be using is a Gold Dollar 66. Now, I picked this up from Frank at Strike Gold Shave. I've had razors honed by a lot of people. I do my own honing, but I've had razors honed by a lot of people in the community. But someone I've never had a razor honed by was Frank. Frank has been doing it a very long time. He's honed thousands of razors. And I was going to send one of my vintage razors in to Frank, just, to have him hone it, just so I can, try out his edge. But I know that he sold these on his website, and I figured, you know what? If I buy one of these, it's the same price, basically, as if I sent one in for the honing service. And the thing about these, I don't know if you can see that, he has to trim the toe and the heel to get a proper hone on this. So I figured, you know what, that's a good way to actually, rather than just shave with a razor that I know will take an edge or had an edge, a razor that Frank had to modify in order to make it shave. Definitely want to try that out. So we're going to be shaving with that. We're actually going to be shaving with another razor too, in honor of the Tour de France, our Eco and Company Yellow safety razor. I'll probably either do like my second pass with that or maybe just some cleanup with it, but I wanted to use that too. We do have those on our website. I think there's only one yellow left. I already sold out of the blue and the green. Those are really cool razors. I mean, they shave great. I'll put links down below to all this stuff. Tour de Citron is sold out yesterday. So thank you to everyone who supported my tribute to the Tour de France. I really appreciate it. I already had a couple people reach out to me and ask if I'm going to be making any more. No, sorry, I'm not. I make it just for the Tour de France, just in July, and when it's gone, and that's it. It'll be back next year, so just keep watching for it, and pick it up next year when it comes out. And I already have some soap loaded in the bowl, fine accoutrements. So let's build a leather. So I was out riding myself today. See it's one of my riding jerseys. I was out riding today. I did a bunch of, I talked about this before, I did a bunch of upgrades to my bike. And I built a new wheel set. And I wanted to test everything out because I got like new wheels, a new cassette, new disc brake rotors, and I wanted to give everything a test. So I did my normal 30 mile ride. Good test. Everything worked perfectly. The wheels that were on there were Bontrager Paradigm 25. Well, they were aluminum wheels, and they were fine. But I've been wanting to upgrade to a full carbon fiber wheel, and I upgraded to the Aeolus Elite 35V. And let me tell you something. What a difference. What a difference. It's got a new hub design, and the power transfer, when you crank that pedal, that power transfer is instant. And they're considerably lighter. So I was moving much faster than I normally do. I took some quick videos while I was out there. So I'm going to try and see if I can add them into this video. I'll probably throw it in during like one of the rinses or something between passes. Love the scent on this. This is such a bright, fresh lemon scent. Lemon, orange, bergamot, a little Royal Hawaiian sandalwood. So good. Whoop. All right, that looks good. And I'm not going to do pre-shave soap today. I'm going to be doing our pre-shave oil. This is just back in stock now. And this is the natural pre-shave oil. This had been out of stock for a little while. So catching up on making a lot of things. Excuse the water, let me just wash my hands off here. I do not want to handle that razor with oily hands. All right. I have a couple other things too that I'm going to be restocking. If you're watching for Pipe Den, I made a new batch of that. So that will probably hit the website this week, I think. That one's been out of stock for a while too. That one, if you like tobacco scents, that one is pretty straight up tobacco, leather, and just a hint of bourbon. Really, really nice. I'm restocking Night Out. Night Out got down to really low. So I am restocking that too. And then I just did, if you saw the post I put up the other day, oats and honey. I just did a new batch of oats and honey. That one's really nice. If you like, so there's no added fragrance in that oats and honey soap. It is just, it's made with real honey, oats, colloidal oats, which is just finely ground oats ground down to a powder. Real honey, oats, and beeswax in the base. So that is the only base. That is our only base that we can't consider to be vegan because it does have the honey and beeswax in it. A little bit firmer texture too from that beeswax, but really, really nice. The scent on it, like I said, there's no added fragrance. So it is, you just get the natural scent of the honey and the oats. Alrighty. Excited to try this razor. Gold Dollar 66 Strike Gold Shave. Ooh. Yep. All right, I didn't say that before, but I had, this is 4 days growth. Frank, dude. That just took, I mean, that's gone. Wow. I am definitely glad I decided to try this. It's crazy. I know Frank's been doing it a really, really long time, like I said before, but I don't know what he finished it on. I should reach out. I should reach out to him and ask him. This is a really nice edge. I know when you do go his honing service, I think you can select the different finishing stones. I'm not sure what he does for these gold dollars. Nice, nice, nice. All right. All right, that was my no torque, my no talking portion so I can cut it into a short with some music. Frank is the official owner for the Shave Dad group, and I know there's a discount that he gives if you're a member of the group. Just put the code in. If you go to the Shave Dad group, there's a post in the featured section that talks about it. Frank is also one of the honers for Pasteur's Pharmacy. If you select a honing service through Pasteur's, there's one other company. I don't remember who it is, but Strike Gold is the other one. So he's also the official owner for Pasteur's Pharmacy. I'm really glad I got a razor. From Frank. I've been wanting to try his edge for a while. Yeah, that's nice. Not gonna be much left to do in the second pass for that DE razor. All right, we'll do a quick rinse, and we'll go with pass number 2, and I'll use the Eco & Co razor. Little lap of my alma mater's parking lot. A little cool down here. That's where I got my paralegal degree. SUNY Schenectady. Schenectady County Community College. Best part about it, I was 48 years old when I went back to school here. There's like hardly anything left. That is a sick edge. All right, pass number 2. We're gonna go with the Eco & Co yellow razor. Finish off our Tour de France shave here. I have had people reach out to me and ask me if I have a honing service and what do I charge. I don't. I've told them, I'll tell you exactly what I've told them. I don't. Honing for me, at least right now, is more of a hobby. I do it to maintain my own razors. I do it because it's relaxing. I really enjoy it. And I know I can get a good edge. I'm very, very happy with the edges that I get. But I don't have the experience to make it a service through my business. Eventually, at some point, I would like to. I am practicing honing a lot more and more, different stones, different techniques. But for me right now to do it as a service, I'm not there. I'm not there yet. But maybe next year, I'll be retired next year, and I'll have a lot more time to focus on other things. So maybe I'll add a honing service at that point. I mean, you guys have seen the videos I do. I do my own honing. I do a lot of little restoration work. So maybe it's something we'll add to the business in the future. But right now, I'm just not at that level. But yeah, I absolutely do want to be at that level. So that is something that I will be working towards. Oops, drop my towel. So hopefully next year. All right, let's see if there's anything left for this razor. A little bit. I've talked about this razor before. To me, this razor is, it kind of reminds me of like a DE89. It's not aggressive by any means, but it is efficient. I mean, you hear that feedback, you may think, oh, it's probably aggressive. It's not. Very nice. Yeah, that'll do it too. I'll tell you, that first pass with that gold dollar, very, very nice. All right, we'll do a final rinse, and then we'll do a quick recap. Try not to hit that microphone. It makes such a nasty scratching sound. Nice. 4 days growth gone. All right, let's do our quick recap here. Soap, Tour de Citron. Again, thank you to everyone who supported our Tour de France tribute. Splash, Tour de Citron. Let's throw some of that on right now. Oh, yeah. That is a nice fresh lemon scent. Nice citrus scent. Love it. Razor. Let me wipe this off. Gold dollar, 66 from Strike Gold Shave. Second razor, Eco & Co. Yellow. Brush, aka Brushworks, Shimmer Yellow. And our fine accoutrements bowl with a ton of lather left over. As always. Always put too much soap in there. All right, guys. That'll do it. Thank you for watching, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care.